Welcome to Silicon Scoop, where we dive into the latest tech news impacting the world. Join John Irwin and the Startup Coach as they explore the tech news that matters to you. Stay ahead, stay informed, and now on with the show.
OpenAI wants to replace the screen with a device that watches, listens, remembers, and talks like another person in the room. The breakthrough is natural conversation, but the battle will be whether consumers trust an always aware AI companion in their homes. So OpenAI is reportedly developing a portable, screenless home device containing cameras, environmental sensors, and movable mechanical components. Instead of waiting for isolated commands like conversational smart speaker, it would use GPT Live to carry on continuous conversations and delegate difficult work to more powerful cloud models. What do you think of this, John?
This sounds like the Amazon Alexa all over again, but a little bit smarter this time. I can't say I'm surprised. It does make sense. Again, the always on is the thing that really concerns me. Now, what would be cool is if you could run a local LLM and have this listening all the time and learning and, you know, all that sort of stuff, taking in all this information so that it doesn't get out to the interweb. But I think this is a good idea because having a smarter Alexa is helpful. Like I was using Alexa for a while when it first came out, but there was a lot of limitations. But now that I'm a little bit more aware of data and data usage and all that sort of stuff and privacy, I'm less apt to get a speaker like this. But this is still great. Like this makes sense to me. What about you? What do you think?
Well, I think we are leaps and bounds away from Alexa and Siri. I think the world is not prepared for what is happening. Yeah. I have several agents. I don't know. Right now, I'm going to say 6 on the go that I can talk to and get them to actively do stuff. I usually type to them, but there's a lot of times where just talking to them is easier. And the more you look around, products like WhisperFlow and a few others, I've even got a open source one installed on one of my machines. I hit a special key, the thing, I dictate to it, and it does what I want it to. These things are like what we wanted the Rabbit R1 to be, because the back ends are now connected to what they call large action models, where you're connected to your work Claude or your OpenClaw agent or your Hermes or your ChatGPT work engine. These things can, or whatever, can actively do stuff. So now you hook up a speaker to them. This thing knows who you are, knows your business, knows where all your files are, knows what's going on, and can actively do stuff on your behalf rather than, hey, play a song. It can actively do work, develop, create apps, email people, do work, create documents, proposals, whatever you want. So the world changes. And I think what we got before from a voice interface was interesting. It just never really became what people wanted.
No. And again, I like this. I like that, it can act on your behalf. It can access different things. But again, worried about hacking. But hey, if I can, you know what though? We could easily create a device and build it ourselves and just link it to a local LLM if this ChatGPT speaker doesn't allow that. I don't think it'd be too difficult, right? You just get a Raspberry Pi, you get a couple sensors. It wouldn't look too pretty, but it would be local and be more safe, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You could do all of that. I just don't know how much consumers are really concerned about privacy on most of this stuff.
Again, compared to you and I, no. I agree. They're not too concerned. But what's interesting is that there's no screen on this, right? But we've talked about this. We talked about a device. We've talked about devices eliminating screens, but OpenAI is believing that AI should disappear into the background kind of thing. So instead of interacting with it through a screen, you just talk naturally, which I still don't interact with any of my LLMs using voice. I know a lot of people do, but I don't. I just type to it. I don't know why I don't. I've never been one to dictate, maybe because I have ADHD. And if I were to actually dictate, it wouldn't be the same coming out as if I was typing, if that makes sense.
It does, but the more I use them, the more I'm like you, where I'm a little dyslexic and I need the time for me to sit down and type it stops my flying brain from sending 10,000 things at a time and makes it focus on this one thing I have to communicate. Because otherwise, when you're talking, it's like, okay, I got this to do, and they all come rushing out, right? So, but you eventually get to the point where it's faster. It's just faster to say, hey, go do this. Commit that to GitHub, then do the update, then phase 1, then send the email and get back to me when you're done. Okay. And it goes and does it. You don't. Anyway, back to this. Our revealed reported target is for 2026 with sales expected in 2027. OpenAI previously stated in a separate trademark case that its Johnny Ive device would not ship before February 2027, but no official launch date. So we're not 100% sure if this is a Johnny Ive's device and whether this will be slowed down by the Apple OpenAI lawsuit that we talked about last week. The reported cost is $200 to $300 US, and it requires a ChatGPT subscription, optional premium tier for cloud service fees not disclosed. So it's interesting.
Let's just talk about, because we kind of skipped over the camera and sensors, because for those of you that are wondering, well, what can it possibly do, right? So this ambient AI device, it could continuously understand which room you're in, who's present, what objects are nearby, the lighting conditions, time of day, ongoing conversations, user routines, household patterns. There's so much. It could anticipate needs like, oh, I'm noticing you're heading into work. Traffic is unusually heavy today, which kind of freaks me out, but whatever, that's where we're going. Or you usually take your medication around now. Have you taken it? This would be great for older people, for sure. Better than the Alexa, but I think this is interesting. The flip side of this, which I don't know if we're covering today, is this device that they're building and the fact that Apple is suing OpenAI too. So there's a bunch of things going on.
So, we can talk about whether we want to talk about the trade secret lawsuit, because we're not 100% about which projects are affected by this lawsuit. OpenAI has reportedly abandoned the IO branding. In court filings, OpenAI has committed not to ship any consumer devices before at least April 2027. I guess that might have to do with some of these trade agreements. When people like Johnny Ives leaves, they have to have so many years before they can do what have you. Legal analysts that follow the trade secret law note that even if OpenAI ultimately wins the case, discovery process alone creates a significant burden. So we're going to see a bunch of stuff coming out about OpenAI, which has probably been why they're delaying the IPO. We talk about all sorts of stuff, but discovery means they get to look at all these emails and all this information, and all this crap gets out. And if they don't have all their ducks in order, it might have a real impact on their IPO. So I think they'd like to see that behind them before that happens. Sure. It's not their first piece of hardware, because they do have this Codex Micro for developers. I don't know if you've seen it before. It looks like this. I'm sharing it on the screen.
Yeah, that device. Yeah, the Codex.
So I'm trying to get it to show you. There you go. It shows it for a second, then back to this guy. But it's mostly aimed at developers. And that was launched already. You can buy it off Work Louder. It's interesting. So we'll have to see if we can get to a point where consumers are ready for this, because the Google Home speaker or the Alexa and Siri all did not do well.
Alexa home speaker did well.
Well, I don't think it. Well, you say do well. I don't think it's a profitable device for them.
I think so.
I could be wrong. I'll look it up later. And
Yeah.
I guess my point is, I don't think the intelligent speaker market up to this point as a whole has been successful. Because it doesn't have enough functionality on the back end. We got people who want to play music. We got people who want to do some Amazon stuff. I use Siri to set alarms, but I don't do that. When I'm talking to Apple people, they use Siri a little bit, but not a lot, because it doesn't work consistently enough. And there are a bunch of other things. Like, these are the reasons why they really haven't taken off in the consumer market. They have, I think, in the geek market, where I have a Google Home and an Alexa somewhere. I use the Google Home just for playing music, and I have the microphone off on it. So the point being is, they weren't able to do much before. You could tie in a few things. You could get it to play the radio, tell the news, maybe play a podcast, any like audio type stuff. Great. Now you're gonna have functionality. The question is that enough? And will consumers have enough functionality versus, say, geeks who have all these things installed with agents and things that can get things handled? Are we moving to every person's going to have multiple agents, whether they know how to use them or not, and they're just going to work for them, and they're going to be able to talk to them through devices like this or whatever they have handy? Yeah. So
you were right. Amazon historically sells Echo speakers at or near cost. And so internal documents had revealed that the division lost over $25 billion between 2017 and 2021. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I thought I read that somewhere, or maybe not those numbers, but I couldn't confirm it. Thank you.
But I guess if you're not taking into account the value of the data, right? Which is why
the value of the data, being able to purchase stuff, like if you can hook it up to your Amazon account and automatically order stuff. We have that, reorder this, reorder that, add this to my thing.
Yeah.
The value inside that ecosystem might pay off, but the smart speaker as a whole has been a failure as a product. The market hasn't taken off. They haven't been profitable, again, because I believe the back end hasn't been able to do enough stuff. So now that we're moving to that, like, let's go. Everybody wanted the Rabbit R run for the large action model when it came out. Like, it doesn't do any of the stuff, and everyone's disappointed. But now we're getting to the point where the back ends are catching up to that promise. So, at this point, I don't have a computer that doesn't have an active agent on it that I can talk to get stuff done, whether type 2 or whatever. Because it's just so much more productive for me, and I'm not sure everyone else is like that. So is everyone else willing to do this and pay $200 to $300 plus? I have a subscription to ChatGPT. At what level in this economy is the average consumer willing to take this and use it? So we'll have to see. I'm skeptical that the average consumer will do this. We'll see what about workplaces, because then you have the data issue, because it could help productivity. But I think more of the other product, we were just talking about the Codex Micro, would be better for that. So we'll see. I just think that I'm curious to see where this is going. It might just be the first proof of concept to a portable thing you carry with you all the time that knows your context, like the pendant stuff that comes out and will record everything and then put everything in context, either real time or later, and maybe match in an ecosystem with the visual glasses and what have you at some point, maybe. But I don't think this is going to be successful, because I don't think the mass market is ready for it.
Yeah.
So let us know what you think. OpenAI is not simply building a smarter speaker. It's betting the cat conversation, vision, and contextual memory can become the next computing interface. Would you put a camera-equipped ChatGPT companion in your kitchen if it genuinely made life easier? Or is it continuous awareness, a privacy line you will not cross? And then it's supposed to have a battery and you can take it with you. I'm not quite sure how that works, taking it from room to room, because if it just sat in one place, then how many do you need if you want to continuously use it throughout the day? So let us know what you think. Would you jump at this, or is this not something you would be looking for?
Tired of drowning in repetitive tasks while your competitors race ahead? Every minute you spend on manual data entry, scheduling, and routine processes is a minute you're not growing your business. Flowgrammer.ca transforms your workflow chaos into seamless automation. We build AI-powered systems that handle your busy work so you can focus on what actually makes you money. Our clients typically save 15 plus hours per week and see their productivity double within 60 days. Visit flowgrammer.ca for a free automation audit. That's flowgrammer.ca. Stop working in your business and start working on it.
What do you got going on, John?
Just plugging away, helping companies with government funding, attending events, probably startup drinks or Flowgrammer events. How about you, Craig?
Lots of stuff going on. I honestly don't know when this is going out. I have to check. I think it's going to go out in April. But there's all sorts of stuff going on. If you don't know about OpenClaw, it's the latest AI automation agent that's taken the world by storm in 2026. And OpenClaw Toronto chapter just launched. And we have all sorts of events going on. So check out openclawto.com. Our first demo night is April 14th. We have a Builder Cafe on April 10th. We have a bunch of other events. There's updates every day. We've deconstructed the latest 2 betas over the weekend that was launched in OpenClaw and what you should do about them. There's a bunch of articles over there. Go check that out. We're also over at flowgrammer.ca where we do N8N automations. We run the Flowgrammer community and do Builders Hub and connectivity for AI and business automation agents. And for everything else, head over to TorontoStarts where we hook up startups and investors at our Startup Investor Drinks. We do mentoring, we do workshops, we have a list of investors. There's a whole bunch of content over. You can also book me over there if you want a meeting with me to talk about whatever, help your startup. Check out TorontoStarts.com. But John, if people are looking for non-dilutive funding, where should they go and what is that?
Yeah, non-dilutive funding. We're talking government grants, tax credits. Come find me on LinkedIn if you have any questions. Right now is shred time, SRNED. But come reach out to me too if you've got a startup, if you've got a company. Reach out to me if you have any questions, and if they have company questions about their startup in general, where do they find you, Craig?
Yeah, find me at TorontoStarts.com. But John, just before we go, something's open right now, and it's closing May 31st. Thank you. Can Export. And what?
Yeah. So
what
if
should
you have
people
at
know
least
about that?
300,000 in revenue in the previous year, and you're looking to expand outside of Canada, reach out to me, and we can put together. We can talk about an application for Can Export.
All the links we talked about will be in the show notes wherever you're watching this. Thanks for watching, everybody. Leave us a comment, give us a like, give us a subscribe. We really appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in to Silicon Scoop. We hope you enjoyed this episode's dive into the latest tech news. Stay connected with John Irwin and the Startup Coach on LinkedIn and subscribe for more insights and updates. Until next time, stay ahead, stay informed.